Well, the rest of the time was parades. Queen's Birthday Parade both years, 62, 63. Over to a place called Stonecastle, which I mentioned, which was where all the ranges were, which you did all your annual classifications. On the island itself, you couldn't do any training because it was so, everything was so restricted. I mean, all the barracks were cut into the side of the hill because ground was a priority. Nice barrack, but in the season it got very hot, very humid. Everything had to be left out because during the sort of humid thing, everything used to go mildew. Even boots, if they weren't taken out, used to go green. Clothing used to go green with the damp and things like that. Nice in the summer. Lots of strange things, snakes around. Because as I had the ammunition stores, I had all these. It was the old gun emplacements from the Second World War, which were facing, and all the ammunition was in the old gun under the hills. So if you undid the doors, you kick the doors hard because you'd have the odd snake line along the inside the door, and they had pythons, cobras. I got not bitten, but I got hit one. I was doing COS, which was a company orderly sergeant. So after night's duty, went home, changed into, and most of our dress out there was boots, socks rolled down, PT shorts, and a berry. And I was walking back from one place to the other, and as I walked along, I suddenly saw, we called them bamboo snakes, and it was a white-lipped pit viper, only a little thing, about 6 to a foot long. It was right in the path, and I can remember seeing it and jumping at the same time, and there was a wet patch on my boot where it had me. So it was a bit of a near miss, but there was quite a few snakes. You had to be sort of see where you were going, and especially around. And the other amusing thing we had, I think when they first came, we had CS gas, and we were practicing. They sealed this tent up on the square, and everybody had to test their respirator. And it went through, and anyway, everything went right. And we had one grenade that didn't go off. So being charged around, I was given it. They said, go and get rid of it. And I took it down the back end where all this scrub was. And I went to see my WO2, and I said, well, how much deck cord? He said, give it a 2.5 round of grenade. He said, collect it up with the wires to 233 deaths. He said, and blow it apart and release the gas. So I did what he told him. One half the grenade went 100 yards one way, and the other went. We ended up with 2 companies of men with beaters and things trying to put all this scrub out the whole hillside, and Standing Rock was on fire. So I went back to him. I said, "You did say 1.5." He said, "But you're probably a little bit too much." So that was quite good. We did a lot of IS duties out there, internal security drills, box drills, with the banner, dispersal with fire and things like that. The other thing, although I wasn't in there and didn't take part myself because I was a headquarter company, they had Operation Seal when the Communist Chinese opened the border up Kowloon and let all the refugees through, and the whole northern territories were flooded with thousands of refugees. And our battalion and lots of the other people were all just mobilised, and their job was just go around, round up everybody they could who was, I know it sounds awkward, but anybody in the country they could find who looked a bit suspicious, and literally round up, slung them in the backs of 3-tonners, put them in barbed wire enclosures. Then the special branch and other people came down, went through them, and stuck them back over the border again. But whether it was a ploy to get lots of people into the border or just to bugger the border, the colony up, I don't know. But it was a big thing. That went on for some time. We had. The other big thing was water shortage. The thing we had to convert everything to seawater, all the toilets on thing, because there was no water. You only had water every 3 days, standpipes. So all the prisoners had to go down to the sea, fill up all these things, and fill up all the systems for the barracks to work for that.